Tesla sales plunged 13% in the first 3 months of this year, the biggest decline in its history. And this is to no one's surprise. It wasn't a matter of if, but when the numbers will start reflecting what was going on with Tesla on the ground. And the time now has come. In an article labeled Tesla Sales Collapse in the US, Biggest Decline in Its History, it reads, Tesla reported Wednesday that it delivered just under 340,000 cars in the first quarter, 50,000 fewer compared to the first 3 months of last year. The results were the company's worst sales in nearly 3 years. Now, here's the thing. I think the worst is yet to come. There will be some quotes from people in this article that are stunned by how bad it is. Personally, this is nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. And the thing is, Tesla as a car company, particularly in North America, has generally seemed like it was a solid business in an environment where a lot of would-be Chinese competitors have effectively been banned from US markets. And until these Chinese EV makers can get a foothold in North America, I think Tesla has a lot of leeway to mitigate the current storm. For the time being, I believe it can get back on track. But that'll be entirely dependent on what Musk does going forward. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listening as always. Nice to be back making videos, as I was having some technical issues this week preventing me from putting out new content. But that's resolved, and I'm glad to be back talking about the auto industry. Anyways, to continue on with the article. Polling indicates Tesla is losing favor. A February poll by Morning Consult shows that nearly 32% of US buyers would not consider buying a Tesla. That's up 27% from a year ago and 17% from 2021. It then goes on to say, in blue states, the percentage of current Tesla owners buying another Tesla fell off to 65% at the end of 2024 from 72% the year before. In red states, it edged up slightly from 47.6 to 48.2 during the same period. Now, on face value, both of those are bad. But let's be honest, these numbers in the grand scheme of things are nothing compared to what could have been given the sheer number of controversies Musk got involved in the last year alone. 65% of Tesla owners in blue states are still planning to buy another one. In California alone last year, over 200,000 Teslas were sold, which would mean in theory that translates to around 130,000 potential repeat buyers in the future. That to me shows that whatever issues people have with Musk, it hasn't deterred them from Tesla as a company. So the market is still there. Now, could one make the argument that there's a belief Musk will step down from his role as a CEO in the future and Tesla won't have this stigma going forward? Maybe that's what these people believe, but I highly doubt that that will happen given that there are multiple reports that he's stepping down from Doge to stop the bleeding at Tesla. But maybe a lot of Tesla owners believe he will step down or could get forced out of the company if the business starts to decline even further. Either ways, an overwhelming majority of Tesla owners still feel comfortable enough to stick with the brand in North America. Now, in Europe, the situation is much different. It states, but sales fell 49% in Europe alone in the first 2 months of the quarter, according to the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, even as EV sales overall grew 28% on the continent. Okay, so none of this is surprising either, but here's the thing. Yes, Tesla is doing awful in Europe, but Tesla does not seem like it's struggling in China. In North America, it's not great, but it's much better than what's going on in Europe. I mean, 15% is bad, but compared to 49% in Europe, it's minimal. Here's my assessment. Tesla, the business in the long run, has a lot of roadway to navigate the turmoil. Tesla, the stock, on the other hand, could be in for a bloodbath. Tesla stock is priced for perfection across all corners of the globe. And if we don't see a return to growth in sales worldwide, especially in North America, that could spell a lot of trouble for shareholders. But Tesla, the business, on the other hand, is doing well as one could hope for given the circumstances. If Musk can stay away of any further controversy, the business will stay afloat and maybe continue growing, albeit at a slower pace. Now that's a big if when it comes to Elon Musk. So if you're holding the stock, it's a massive gamble right now. Anyways, the article then states, they knew a bad first quarter was coming, but this was even worse than expected, said Don Ives of Wedbush Securities, who has been a bull on Tesla. In a note to clients Wednesday, this quarter was an example of the damage Musk is causing Tesla, he said. Hold on, if a 15% drop is much worse than what they expected, what were they expecting exactly? A 10% drop? A 5% drop? How can you look at all that was going on with Musk and all the controversy after controversy and the vandalization of Teslas and only expect a 5 to 10% drop in sales? I mean, any other business would be looking at potential bankruptcy right now if their CEO did a fraction of what Elon got entangled with. In fact, most other businesses would have pressured their CEO to resign a long time ago. So, like I said, they should be surprised it was only 15%. Now, with regards to Musk and the massive negative impact that he could have, I said this before and I will say it again. If Tesla wants to get back on its growth track, Musk has to step down as the CEO. There's no way around that, in my opinion. He can no longer be the face of the company if he wants it to stay at the top of North American EV sales. Him stepping away from the limelight will stop the bleeding in the short term, but it's only a matter of time before other EV makers catch up and capitalize on the negative image Musk has built for himself and his brand. And Tesla will completely implode in Europe if Musk stays. I don't see a way around that. So if Musk wants what's best for Tesla, he should step down, and that's just my opinion. Anyways, that's all I have to say on this issue. Links to the articles are in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section. And as always, if you enjoyed this, make sure to click like and subscribe. See you in the next one.